I stopped using my husband's last name after what he said. We'd been married for 3 years. I took his name the day we got married because I thought that's what love meant, becoming one, sharing everything, including identity. Then last Tuesday happened. We were at his company's annual dinner. Fancy restaurant, open bar, his boss and coworkers everywhere. I'd met most of them before, but there were new faces this year. His boss introduced me to a client. "This is Gavin's wife, Erin." I smiled and shook the man's hand. "Nice to meet you." The client looked at Gavin. "She's beautiful. How'd you land her?" Gavin laughed. He put his arm around me. Then he said something that made my blood run cold. "She was nothing before me. I gave her everything she has." The client laughed nervously. I stood there frozen. Gavin kept talking like he hadn't just destroyed me in front of a stranger. Her family had nothing. No connections, no money. I basically rescued her. I excused myself to the bathroom. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely open the door. I locked myself in a stall and sat there for 15 minutes trying to understand what just happened. The man I married had just called me nothing. When I came back to the table, Gavin was 3 drinks deeper and telling another group about how lucky I was to marry into his family. She went from a studio apartment to a 5-bedroom house. His friends nodded like this was impressive. I didn't say a word the entire drive home. The next morning, I woke up before him, made coffee, sat at the kitchen table, thought about every conversation we'd had in 3 years. I started noticing patterns I'd ignored. Remember when my sister visited? Gavin made a comment about how her clothes looked cheap. I laughed it off. Remember when my mom called during dinner? He rolled his eyes and said she probably needs money again. She didn't. She just missed me. Remember when I got promoted at work? He said it was cute that I was playing career woman. I'd been excusing everything, telling myself he didn't mean it, that he loved me in his own way, but calling me nothing in public that I couldn't excuse. I went to the DMV that afternoon, changed my license back to my maiden name. Took 2 hours, but I didn't care. Then I changed my email signature at work, updated my social media, called my bank. Gavin didn't notice for 3 days. When he finally saw my new email signature, he laughed. "What's this about?" I told him I was taking back my name. He stopped laughing. "You're being dramatic." "I'm being honest." His face changed. That confused look men get when they realize they're losing control. We had a fight that night. He said I was embarrassing him, that his family would think I was planning to leave, that I was making a big deal out of nothing. Nothing. I asked him why he told that client I was nothing before him. He went quiet. Then he tried to backtrack. "I didn't mean it like that. I was just bragging." "Bragging about what? That you married someone you look down on?" He didn't have an answer. The next week, his mother called. She'd heard about the name change and wanted to talk. I expected her to defend Gavin, to tell me I was overreacting. Instead, she said something that shocked me. "My husband said the same things about me when we were young. I wish I'd had your courage back then." She told me stories I'd never heard, how Gavin's father had treated her like a trophy, how she'd spent 40 years feeling invisible in her own marriage. "Don't make my mistakes," she said before hanging up. Gavin came home that night with flowers. He apologized, said he'd been stressed at work, that he didn't realize how his words affected me. I asked him one question. "Do you think I'm nothing without you?" He hesitated. That hesitation told me everything. We're in counseling now. He's learning that respect isn't optional, that love means lifting someone up, not reminding them where they came from. I kept my maiden name. He hated it at first. Now he's starting to understand why. Last week, we ran into that same client at a restaurant. Gavin introduced me differently this time. "This is my wife. She's the smartest person I know. Progress. Slow, but real." His mother sent me a card yesterday. It said 4 words. "Proud of you, daughter." I framed it.